How are you lovely people doing today? My name is John. Welcome to a beautiful episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A. This is the only series on YouTube where I take your questions about the zombie storyline and I answer them. Whether it's a big, a small, or a simple question, I'm more than happy to answer it. So go ahead and leave your questions down below or tweet me at JohnnyJ25. Either way, you may be in the next episode. Without further ado, let's begin. So for today's video, we have a question from Luis Pedro Galvez Valverde, and I apologize if I mispronounce your name, but he asked the question, one question, my friend, why did Richtofen kill the other Richtofen in the Giant? Please answer, and you are the best. So thank you very much. Why did Richtofen kill himself? Well, I actually answered this exact question, in a video back in July. There's two issues with the video. One, I end up being wrong, and two, the video is blocked worldwide, which I guess kind of works out in my favor because I ended up being wrong. But you see, this was made back in July when we first saw the Giant trailer, and many of us had speculated that the Giant would take place in the same exact universe as the original Deriz, except that's not how things actually turned out. Our characters it turns out they were jumping between many different universes, and this isn't the first time they visited Deriz. They have been here many different times, and it just so happens that the time they were here currently, they were dealing with a very different universe. In this universe, we have a Nazi-esque Richtofen in what was the Deriz of the original timeline, but placed in a World War I setting. And we can tell because we have the giant robots that were featured on the map Origins, as well as the Iron Cross prominently decorates the map. So this is not the original Deriz, and our thought was that Richtofen probably shot himself so that one, he's out of the picture, and two, they can prevent the assassination of Dr. Maxis. You see, Richtofen teleports Samantha and Maxis to the moon, and then he orders that Dr. Maxis be killed once they find him. Well, now that Richtofen's out of the picture, all they have to do is just get Samantha out of the pyramid and prevent them from killing Maxis, but that's not the case anymore. This is a completely different universe, and in this universe, things aren't exactly what we expect. Dr. Maxis is probably being sent away, but we also have another Dr. Maxis who is an ethereal voice sort of guiding us. So now that I've established that my original theory as to why Richtofen killed himself is wrong, and that we're in a completely different universe than what we expected, let's begin to answer your question, why did Richtofen shoot himself? Well, let's first remember that Richtofen shooting himself wasn't that significant. One, because we're just jumping between many different universes, and two, this isn't the first time they've killed a Richtofen. Listen to Nikolai on one of the Giant radios.
It is not all bad news, Nikolai. We may have failed in our mission, but at least there is now one less Richtofen to deal with. If it is any consolation, tell him that the first one is the hardest. I should know. I've killed at least 3 Richtofens. There was the one in the fire, the one with the boat hook, and the one... What? No one told me. Sorry. Forget what I just said. Everything will be fine.
So, if dead Richtofens are starting to become a dime a dozen, what was the reason Richtofen would want to shoot himself? Well, I believe Richtofen wanted to shoot himself just so that he's not there to bother them. So they're going to be crawling around the Giant for quite a while they attempt to complete the Easter egg or whatever jobs they need to get done. If the Richtofen of that time period is still there bothering them, they're not really going to get much work done. And he might actually lead them to the test subjects. You see, Dr. Maxis does not want the test subjects awakened, while our other characters think that they need to awaken the test subjects. Take a listen.
The test subjects can never be allowed to awaken. The havoc that could be wreaked upon the future by such simple-minded individuals could be catastrophic. Heed my warning.
Dr. Maxis does not want the test subjects awakened under any circumstance. We don't know why, but the results will be catastrophic, and we should take his word for it because he is a fairly omnipotent being at the moment. So here's my theory. When Richtofen stepped out of the teleporter, he killed himself so that one, he prevents information from getting out, and two, he prevents himself from sort of getting in the way of his own plans. If Richtofen was alive, he would probably have the knowledge of where the test subjects are, and then our other characters could try to get that information out of him, because we know that Tank Dempsey does want to get in contact with the test subjects because he believes they might have valuable information. But if he's dead, he can't get that information from Richtofen, so that prevents that from being an issue. And then if Richtofen is still alive, he might actually end up hurting them as they tried to complete whatever jobs and Easter eggs they need to get done. So Richtofen is just kind of killing the Richtofen of that time period as a bit of an insurance policy. That's at least what I'm thinking right now. We still haven't completed the Easter egg, and there's still a lot more to learn and understand about the Giant as we find Easter eggs and decipher code and complete puzzles, but at the moment, this is the best explanation as to why Richtofen would want to kill himself. It's just a bit of insurance. That's going to wrap things up for this episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A, though. If you enjoyed it, maybe give it a like and possibly subscribe for more videos. I upload multiple every week, and if you enjoyed this one, I'm sure you'll love the next one. I'm going to go, though, and you can either leave your questions down below or follow me at JohnnyJ25. Have a fantastic day, though, and bye.